Audience feedback is a vital process of a media production because it clearly allows me to see where my strong points were and what could be improved should I do any future productions. In this video I should be going over what my audience thought of the trailer and the two ancillary tasks, and then coming to a final conclusion which will include key areas where I should improve in the future. To start with, I asked everyone to say what kind of media product the clip was. All identified it as a teaser trailer, which I deemed to be important.
I think it's a trailer or a teaser trailer.
It is a teaser trailer.
It is a teaser trailer.
Though some conventions should be challenged in a teaser trailer, I believe the overall format should stay conventional and therefore recognisable to the audience. My group's trailer has succeeded with that. This means that I'm following Neil's theory of repetition and difference by repeating the format, but also challenging some other aspects. My audience weren't as confident with pinning down what the genre of the trailer was.
Like an action thriller film?
Maybe kind of like fantasy, sci-fi.
Fantasy/sci-fi/ sort of action.
This was somewhat expected as the genre was something we decided to challenge in accordance to Neil's theory. Our trailer is a hybrid of drama and thriller, but we also had action, fantasy and sci-fi mentioned by the audience. We intended to bring a refreshingly new hybrid genre to the audience, but my audience feedback shows me that next time I may want to consider being slightly more conservative and make the genre less mixed and more obvious, so as to not confuse the audience. We wanted to make sure our narrative was exciting and appealing to the audience, but at the same time we wanted to make sure it had recognisable elements in order to attract them into something they already know and therefore are comfortable with. Therefore we decided to follow Todd Ross' theory of equilibriums and disequilibriums, though as is the nature of a teaser trailer, we only showed the disequilibrium.
And then he's got cancer, and then the dude in the suit, who I'm guessing is like the devil or something, shows up and is like, I could give you extra days. And he's like, but you have to do bad things.
Who develops cancer, and he is approached by who I assume is the devil, and the devil says to him that for every good deed he does, he gets a day taken off his life, but for every bad deed he does, he kind of gets a life added on, a day.
All the people I interviewed managed to explain the narrative of the production very well, which suggests the story we have is clear and conventional. I believe that because we have followed the start of Todd Ross' theory for our trailer, it has made it all a lot clearer and instantly recognisable to the audience. Characters was something we intentionally wanted to blur from and move away from props character theory. In our production, the main character isn't much of a protagonist thanks mainly to the bad deeds. However, we didn't completely move away from the theory, and that's why there's a villain, created the binary opposite, and a stereotypical sidekick girlfriend for the main character. We wanted to see how well the audience picked up on this.
It's not really a clear, line between the protagonist and antagonist.
The devil is he's kind of the stereotypical villain. He's dressed well, but he's completely evil.
Some of my audience picked up very well on the fact that the main character isn't much of a protagonist, whereas others focused on the fact that there's more conventional characters featured, such as the villain and girlfriend. This mix is what we wanted, as it shows we've hit a good spot of venturing away from props theory, but not completely ignoring it. Lastly, we wanted to know what could be improved for our production. Information received here is vital to carry forward to future products.
Like audio and visual improvement.
Some of the shots were quite washed out.
There was some shots where the audio seemed kind of out of sync.
As you can see from the clip shown, the main issue people had with our main production was the audio and the colours of the video. We did experience issues with the audio during the recording thanks to a 40-boom microphone, and they were referring mainly about the colour correction of the video looking washed out. This is very valuable information that will be carried forward to any future productions. We will now be sure to rigorously test the microphone before use and to not so heavily colour correct next time. The most important role of my ancillary task was for them to complement my main production and get the audience intrigued enough to want to see the trailer and movie itself. I asked them in the question regarding whether the ancillary task makes you more interested in the film.
The poster, yeah. I feel like the magazine would
be effective.
Yeah, it would be effective for
the
people that do look at and read magazines and waiting areas and stuff. That would definitely.
Yes. kind of they're both quite eye catching, and they like draw you in. Especially the poster, because the poster is very simplistic, but it's still like it makes you kind of want to find out more.
My audience agreed that both ancillary tasks increased interest for the film, but there was a definitive unwritten agreement that the poster was better at doing so than the magazine cover. This suggests that the poster was the stronger, more conventional product out of my two ancillary tasks, and that my magazine cover has some areas to improve on. It was also important that my ancillary tasks were conventional to the genre of our teaser trailer, otherwise the audience may have difficulty making a link between the poster or the magazine cover and the trailer itself. So I asked a question regarding whether the poster and magazine cover helps them with the genre.
The magazine cover, not so much, but the poster, I would say, does.
I wouldn't necessarily say that the kind of magazine cover does, but the poster definitely does.
Overall, my audience feedback showed me that the poster was a lot more recognisable to the genre when compared to my magazine cover, which suggests that the poster has a lot more conventional elements to it regarding the drama thriller genre. Examples of this could be the fact that my poster is dark and mysterious, but my magazine cover is relatively light and could almost be described as cheery to some degree. Therefore, I may want to consider designing a darker poster to fit the genre more elegantly for any future production. Lastly, I wanted to know what could be improved by ancillary products. I asked a question regarding what they would improve on my ancillary products.
With the magazine, possibly make it convey the genre of the text a bit more, because it's not as dark or as dramatic, it's just kind of there.
I think the poster is like really good, and I don't really know what you could improve on that. But with the with the magazine cover, there's like a lot of text, so I would maybe kind of a little bit less text, because all the text makes it seem quite crowded.
From the responses gathered from my audience feedback, I can clearly see that they believe there is very little improvements to be made to the poster. Whilst I don't believe it's perfect, it does show that my poster has done a good job of appealing to the audience and conveying the genre with significant effect. On the other hand, my audience feedback showed that there was some improvements to be made to my magazine cover, namely that it doesn't convey the genre very well, and could therefore have alterations to it in order for it to be more appealing and conventional. One specifically mentioned that the magazine cover should have less text in the future. This is something I should seriously consider if I were to produce a magazine cover in the future. In conclusion, the audience feedback was largely positive about the products I displayed to them. They recognised that my main production purposely followed and flouted some conventions and theories in order to keep in line with Neil's theory of repetition and difference. There were things that are pointed out to me to improve on though, namely the audio and the colour correction. This is valuable information and will allow me to make a higher quality production in the future. When it comes to my ancillary tasks, there is a clear favourite between the two products. My poster was considered to be far more conventional and appealing to the eye by all who were questioned, which meant there are significant improvements to be made to the magazine cover. Without the audience feedback, I may not have realised this, and therefore would not have been able to improve my quality for the next time so effectively.